Hey, everybody. This is Angie from Life Begins Today. And this is Tuesday, April 25th, 2023. How are you? I hope everyone is doing well and is having a great week thus far. So, we are going to just kind of talk about some things as we go through this next hour. We may have some guests that come in. If not, it'll just be me and you. So I want to say thank you for joining us from wherever you are. And when you get a second, please type in the chat where you are from. I'd appreciate that. And of course, don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Life Begins Today. So we are here to just discuss some things that are important to women. Oh, but before we get started, I just want to let everybody know the unfortunate news, that the very sad news of the passing of one of our legends, Harry Belafonte. He passed away today, April 25th, and we are sending prayers out to his family and his friends. He has been a legend, a warrior for our community, for the Black community, for decades. He, I think, was 96 when he at his passing, and so we are certainly going to miss him. What I said in my Instagram post was, "A mighty warrior has gone to sleep," and so that's just one of the, it is life, but it is a sad part of life, and so we are just mourning the loss of Mr. Belafonte from this realm, knowing that he is in the next realm. Okay, so how is everybody doing? And what have you been doing? Last week we talked about what we want. And we asked the question, are you living the life that you want? And what are you doing to create that life? So we kind of want to piggyback off of that, continue that conversation, and then add something to it. So, what do you want from life? As a woman over a certain age, who has certain life experiences, who has, you know, been around the world, uh, maybe not literally, but certainly theoretically. What do you want? Do you have everything that you want in life? Do you have the kind of life that you thought you would have at this stage, and at this age? I can say no, um, but I have the life that I have created. And is that the life that I really want to live? No, it is not. Um, Perhaps I'm the only one. Uh, and that there are no other women out there who have gotten to a certain point in life and they realize, wait, I've done some things, um, perhaps not knowing, but I've done some things or failed to do some things, um, that have led me to this point. And so then the question is, what are you going to do? First of all, is there anything that you can do? Some people believe that there's nothing that they can do, that whatever happens, happens, que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. It doesn't matter what you do because you're going to have the life that you're supposed to have. And so there really isn't much that you can do to change it. I don't necessarily believe that. I believe that God gives us choice, He gives us wisdom and understanding, He gives us if nothing else, he gives us the decision making capabilities. And those choices, the understanding that we have, the decision making capability that we have, will inform how things turn out. And the fact that God knows our end even before the beginning is irrelevant. We don't know. And so anything can happen. I think about Hezekiah. Was it Hezekiah? I believe it was King Hezekiah in the Bible, who prayed to the Lord. He was sick. He turned his face to the wall and he prayed to the Lord for more time. And the Lord increased his life for 15 years because he prayed earnestly, fervently prayed, and he prayed in within the will of God, and that happened. So just because we see that something is imminent, because we can see where our trajectory is taking us, it doesn't mean that that is all there is, and it doesn't mean that we can't do something, even if it's just praying for a different outcome. That is still doing something. And so to say that there's nothing we can do, to say that it doesn't matter what we do, is just really not true. And this is what Life Begins Today is all about: encouraging and inspiring women over a certain age to do something else, to do something differently, to do what they want to do with whatever time they have left to do it. It's not too late. You're not too old. You just may not have figured some things out. Um, Things may not be perfect. Things may not be in the order that you expected them to be. But as long as you have breath and as long as you have the desire for life, then there are things that you can accomplish. There are things that you can start today. So your life truly can begin today. And so we want to continue to express that. We just want to continue to express that. So let me let me see what's happening right now. Hold on just a moment. I'm sorry. Okay, just want to make sure everything is going on right. So one question that was given to me was about. Let me read the question that came in so that um, I'll get it right. One lovely lady asked, "What should you desire in a mate or a significant other at this stage of your life?" There's so many conversations about um, men and women dating after a certain age, marriage versus um, just living together, or dating, not dating, whatever. And the answers run the gamut. For as many people as there are in the world, there are the same number of replies and responses to that. So my answer to her question, what should you look for in a mate or a significant other after a certain age, is kind of a general response, but it is a valid response, I believe, in that no one can tell you what you should look for. Your life is your life, and your experience is different from everyone else's. Your needs are different from everyone else's. And so, what you should look for in a person who you want to spend your time, your life with, is someone who can meet your needs as much as another person can meet your needs. Um, for me, the foundation begins with what your belief is. So, do you believe in a higher power? If you do, then you should be leaning upon the knowledge from that higher power, the direction from that higher power to lead you and guide you into what you should want in a person. And so the the fundamental thing I think is you as a human being should demand, should expect respect from your significant other. As a human being, you deserve respect, and that I think is a non-negotiable. And it's crazy that we even have to say that, because you would think that people wanting, demanding respect is just a given. It's just a standard characteristic that they would require of someone else. But we all know that there are so many people with um, low esteem and feelings of worthlessness, and they attach themselves to people that do not respect them, do not honor them, do not love them, do not care for them, because they think that they can't do any better, they're not worth it, um, or this is all there is for whatever reason. And so we have to say that you should expect respect, right? Um, that is fundamental. The next thing is you should have somebody whose standards of living, whose standards of thinking align with your standards of thinking and standards of living. And when I say standards of living, I don't mean, um, if you can afford to drive Maseratis, then you want somebody else who can afford to drive Maseratis. No, that's not what I'm talking about. When I say standards of living, you have you have certain expectations, certain standards for how you carry yourself, how you walk through this earth, how you show up. You want somebody who aligns with that. Um, you want someone who could be, they say opposites attract, and that could be personality. That's not the same thing. You may be very introverted and you appreciate someone else's extroversion because their outgoing personality helps draw you out and helps um, liven up your life, actually, and helps you enhance some of those qualities that you are missing on your own. So being an opposite is not a bad thing, but the things that matter, the standards, the fundamental um, thought process, what you think about life should align. And if that doesn't align, you're going to have some problems. And just as a matter of course, if everybody was perfect, there would still be problems. So why add to those problems um, things that you absolutely have an opportunity to address even before they happen? So why add a problem such that's made because you're with somebody who it just doesn't whose standards just don't align, whose thought process is totally different than yours. Um, and people may disagree with this, but even when it comes to well, I won't say it. We're gonna talk about finances, but I guess I will say it. So some people are better with finances than others. That doesn't mean that they don't make good partners. if they understand that they lack in an area, and you as their partner are more skilled in that area, um, then as long as you two understand that, and you are the partner that has more accountability for what, or responsibility, maybe I should say, for what goes on financially. You are the person who handles the finances, because you are the person who is a better steward of those finances. If that other person understands that and doesn't have a problem with it, then okay, you all are working together, and it's a give and take. But if you are good with finances, and your significant other is better with finances, and you would begrudge your significant other um, their ability to handle the finances. You don't want them handling your finances. You don't want them being in charge. You don't want them, um, being the go-to. But you're not any good at it. That's going to cause some problems in your relationship, as it should. And the other person is going to get tired of that really quickly, as they should. So, being aligned in areas doesn't mean that you are the same. It just means that you can work together. If there are differences, you can work together um, in a partnership. Something else that I think that you should really want in a relationship is someone who enjoys some of the things that you like to do, or someone who enjoys being with you, um, even if you have to find new things to do together. We can go back to the familiar example of base of sports. Your man may play golf or like to watch football, and you hate it. Okay, so that might be something that you and he don't do together, but you might be the partner who makes sure that he has the snacks that he wants when he's watching football all day, whatever day. Um, you may be the person that makes sure that he has all of his gear necessary for playing golf, and that when he goes out to play golf, you're not sitting at home watching the time for when he returns. That he can go and hang out and have a good time doing it, because when you two are together, then there are other things that you do together. You have to figure out what you want to do together. Now, the problem comes in when you have your thing and he has his thing, and you all never come together to do your partner thing. That's a problem. But you have to have a life. You've got to have a life outside of each other, because what happens when your partner isn't there for whatever reason? They go out of town, or they're working, or they're just not interested in what you're doing. So what then can you do together that interests both of you? You have to have something that you can do, and it's perfectly fine that he isn't with you. Um, there definitely is something that he can be doing, and you don't have to be under him. He doesn't need you to be with him, because when you do come together, it is a great thing. But you have to have a life outside of each other. And some people will tell you what that has to be. Nobody can tell you that. Nobody can tell you the degree to how to which that has to occur. Um, you may spend most of your time together and have only a few little things um, that you do separately. That's fine. You may spend most of your time apart for whatever reason, maybe because you spend so many hours at work, or you have children, or whatever. But it's okay because when you come together, things are wonderful. But that's up to you. Nobody can tell you what's right or wrong. But the advice is you have to have your own life. You have to be, you have to be a whole person. What else? What are some of the other things that you should want in a person? The other thing about that, wanting somebody who has a life, you don't want them suffocating you. You don't want to have to explain everything every time you turn around, unless, of course, you're sharing your life, you're sharing your day, you're sharing your activities. But people that don't have lives tend to suffocate those that are around them. Or they tend to want to pull that person down because they don't have anything to do. They feel like you shouldn't have anything outside of them to do. And so that can be a problem. So you want somebody who doesn't think that way, and who can, what do we say about kids, can play amongst themselves, and can find their own things to play with, while you're doing your own thing. I don't know. I was watching this YouTube clip of this woman saying that she likes to ride her man, and she looked like she was, I don't know, in her 70s. She could have been 80. I really don't know. And sometimes, I look at the comments because I want to see what people are thinking. And some of the comments were, as you would expect, like, oh, wow. Oh, they were shocked, and they were like, okay, wow. Oh my goodness. Some of them were not very nice, but most of them were, you get it, Granny, or that's what I'm talking about, or, but aside from all of that, my thought was, why is this such a big deal? What she's saying? We are in 2023, and we have enough examples of older people who are still very active, and are still very much in love with their partners, or in love with love, and date, and who are still intimate. So my question is, why are people making such a big deal out of what she was saying? What do you think older people do when they're intimate? Hello, common sense. And so I was like, you all just need to grow up. But we need to normalize, and I think that's the key takeaway. We need to normalize the normal things that we do over a certain age. We can be our own worst critics, and we can bully ourselves because we we don't advocate for ourselves. So when we hear people say things like, "Oh, she's too old for this," or he's too old for that, you should stop them. You should first see, what makes him or her too old for that? What makes that something that's only acceptable for someone who's uh, a certain age? And what is that certain age? And so basically, it's like we have two groups of people. We have regular people, and then we have exceptional people, right? And a lot of the things that people say is not good for somebody over 50 or over 60 or over 70. But there are people, like, for instance, you can't wear mini skirts, or you can't wear 3, 4, 5 inch heels over a certain age. You can't be, just beautiful and fly and all of that. If they say fly anymore, I don't know. But then you point out people like Patti LaBelle, like Tina Turner. Angela Bassett is over 60. And you say, yeah, but they're different. So then they are the exceptional ones, right? Because they're entertainers, because they have money. But I know plenty of women, regular women who work at the plant, who work in the grocery store, who work at the who work in the offices, who who work in the schools, who work in the hospitals, wherever, who sit in church next to you. I know plenty of women who are just regular people who are lively and beautiful and could give Patti LaBelle and Angela Bassett and Halle Berry and whoever a run for their money. For every Halle Berry, you see 10 beautiful women that are as beautiful or even more so, just walking the streets, doing whatever they do on a regular basis. And so we have to normalize being fabulous, just being a regular person. A lot of people say, well, I'm not basic. I don't even know what that means, because most of the people that I hear saying they're not basic are basic. They think that they are above and beyond, but no, you doing the same thing that most people I know do. You may not think so, but trust, sister, you are. And so, again, we need to normalize being fabulous. Now, we can be exceptional in certain ways, of course, but the point is we need to recognize that women don't stop being attractive because they hit the 5-0 or because they hit the 6-0. Because there are plenty of examples in regular life where this is absolutely the truth. And it's more so now than ever before, because people are living longer than ever before, that we have more money, we can do more things. And so we just have opportunities that, even a couple of generations ago, a generation ago, they didn't have. So just so how that ties into what you should look for in a mate is you need to have a mate that understands that you are who you are. It has nothing to do with age. It has to do with really, it has to do with your mindset. And because you don't want somebody who looks at you and is gonna try to reel in your reins. So if you like doing X, Y, and Z, but they think people, if you like ice skating, but they think that people over a certain age shouldn't do that, you're gonna break a bone. I don't know. Do you really want to be bothered with that? Do you really want to have somebody trying to reel you in? If you like wearing colors or whatever that people ascribe to younger people, do you really want someone who is going to kind of tell you to mute your spirit, to mute you? So that goes back to aligning your philosophies. So what else? What else? What else? Um, I think I started that off because I was leading to, you want somebody who is compatible physically, in terms of, are you sexually active? Are you sexually motivated? Do you want to have sex? Do you want, what kind of intimacy? So you want to be compatible, intimate, on the intimacy level, wherever that stands. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Understanding though that intimacy is different for people, and it's not about age. Um, you also want somebody who has the same idea about relationships that you do, aside from the same idea about life in general. You want somebody who wants the same kind of relationship you do, right? If you're just wanting to date and don't want to have a real commitment, you better pick somebody who feels that way. if you want to marry, if you know that you want to marry, then you need to pick somebody who will be okay with leading to marriage, to to progressing to marriage. You don't want to pick somebody who's just dating any and everybody. And that's not a problem. If you're single, you can date any and everybody if that's what you want to do. But you should not enter into a relationship with someone who does not want the end result that you want. Now, even being friends with somebody, we all know that there are people who will say that all they want is friendship, but that really is for them the starting point for something more. And so something more could be they're saying that they just want to be friends so that they can have a connection with you, a way to be with you, and they're hoping that you will change your mind, and they're hoping that it will lead to more, even though you said that you don't want any more. Or they're saying, you know that you want more, and you know that they don't want more, and so you're not really willing to give them much of your time. But they say, well, let's just be friends, let's just hang out, let's just, you know no pressure, we just want to be friends. We're not dating. If I need a date, then I'll call you. If you need a date, you can call me. And then, but we know that a lot of times men will do that because they think that they get their foot in the door, they can get in that crack, um, in your armor, in your wall, then they can get you to do what they want. They may just be and probably they just want sex. If they don't want a commitment, but they want to date you, then 9 times out of 10, they want to date you for sex. I could be wrong. Let me know what you think about that. But the point is that you need to make sure that you are with somebody who wants what you want. And at this age, you should be able to express that. At this age, you shouldn't want to mess around with. And so, if you are not the kind of person that wants to date, then you should be able to say, I don't want to date, and thanks, have a nice life, I'm out. Anybody who has a problem with that um, doesn't want what you want and wants to try to talk you into something that you don't want. Okay. So, what else? I mean, we could go on and on and on and talk about um, a whole lot of other things, what they should have, how they should look. But that's not important because you know what you are willing to accept. So, the whole thing about he should at least have as much as I have. Okay, most of us feel that way, but a lot of us are willing to accept somebody who doesn't have at least as much as we have, because we can still, it doesn't matter. I don't need his money. I don't need his things. I have my own stuff. What I need him for is different than what I needed him for, say, maybe when I was 40 or 20, or even when I was, 10 years younger. I don't need him for that now. And so what I need him for is Y and Z. And that doesn't really have anything to do with to my life. Financial assistance he can provide for me. For some people, that absolutely does matter. Um, when people get married after a certain age, especially when they've been married before or when they have children, you go into things a little bit differently. You may have money, but if you go into it understanding that if something happens to you, all your stuff is going to your kids and grandkids or your family. As long as you understand that from the beginning, there should be no problem. If you want to spend all of your money with this man, if he wants to spend all of his money on you, okay. you made a conscious decision to do so, fine. But at the end of the day, there should be no hard feelings. There should be no fighting over money. You know, how many times have you seen something pop up on your social media feeds? These questions that people have about, my stepmother uh, got insurance money for my father and won't share it. Okay, you should have got a policy for your father. Um, that was her husband. So if he didn't make allowances, if he didn't make provisions for his children, his grown children, when he had the opportunity, then that's not on the stepmother. Now she could be as wicked and evil as anything, but it is what it is. So after a certain age, when you're not dealing with young children or children that you have a responsibility to care for, maybe you have an adult child who is disabled, and you have to care for them even after you're gone. You want to put things in place, but still, that is your responsibility. And there should be no question about it. Everybody should be on the same page, right? So those are some things that, so even if he has less money than you, and he's not where you are financially or materially, if you enjoy each other, if everything else is in place, if you have the alignment of spirit and standards, if he respects you, if you are having a good time with this person, and if he adds something to your life on an emotional and spiritual level, then does it really matter if he can't add to your life on a financial or material level? Does that really matter? I mean, at this stage, does that really matter? For some people, it does. Um, but again, you have to decide for yourself. That's something to think about, but nobody can tell you if it's right or wrong. The only thing is, if that's all you worry about, then you probably won't be happy or as happy as you could be. But what do I know? So I think that's enough about that question. Is there another question? I had more than one. Let's see. That someone asked. Uh, okay. So here's another question. Who do you go to? This is from me. Who do you go to for counsel, to talk about your dreams and desires? As a woman of a certain age, with so many of us who no longer have our parents to go to, aunts and uncles, many people that we could go to when we were growing up are no longer around for whatever reason. Um, so who do you have that you go to? And now, too, you are considered the matriarch, the patriarch of the family. You're the head of the family. And so people come to you. You spent the majority of your older adult life putting out fires, taking care of other people, right? Giving advice, soothing feelings, and being the shoulder upon which people lean and cry. But who do you go to for counsel, especially if you are not in a loving partnership? Do you have somebody? Do you think is even important at this stage of the game? Are there parts of life that where you still require the advice and the support and the encouragement from other people? Or are you one of those persons who feel, I'm at a certain point in my life, I know what I know, I've had things, I've had a lot of things um, that I've learned, that I've been blessed with, and so I should know everything. I shouldn't have to wonder, and I certainly shouldn't have to ask other people um, their advice. Are you one of those people, or do you still have people that that you can go to, and you can talk things through, and you can get other people's opinions? Not that those opinions count more than your own opinion, but a lot of times you get the other people's opinions because you want to know what people are thinking. You want to know where they stand, and it kind of helps you gauge how far to the right or to the left your opinion, your thinking is. And so the people that you do go to, are they people who you should go to? Are they people that have the same kind of foundation, the same standard, the same, just like with a partner? Are the people that you go to for counsel, for advice, just to talk? Are they people that think, whose thinking aligned with your thinking, whose standard of living aligns with yours? And remember, standard is not about material things; it's about the frame of mind, how you move in this world, how you see the world, how you see other people in the world. What is your foundation, and do those people align with you? Because I'm going to tell you, if you are seeking counsel and advice, or just want to talk to people who don't think the same as you, who don't have the same kind of empathy, understanding that you have, you're going to get some responses that not only will confuse you, but may cause you to go astray. And yeah, you can go astray in your old age. You've gotten to this point where you may have done everything right, and then something happens and you daggone about to fall off the cliff. And so you still have to be reminded that the people that you come to, the people that you go to, need to be people who are like-minded, people that you can depend upon to have your best interests at heart, to give you wise counsel, and to really give you the benefit of their experience and wisdom, not for their benefit, but for your benefit. Um, so it is good. We talk about mentoring, and when you're dealing with trying something new, with transforming your life, when with beginning something that maybe you've not done before, even at a certain age, you need a mentor. You need somebody that can guide you, that can hold your hand, that can take you step by step, that can show you a better way while you are learning and while you are going through it. And so a mentor doesn't have to always be somebody that is older than you. It has to be somebody that has the experience already that you are seeking to gain. And so we want to remind people not to belittle, or not to look down on people that are younger, especially with the social media game and so much else, who have the knowledge that you don't have. So consider still having a village. You still need a village. You still need to be encouraged. You still need to be inspired. You still need some people to support you and to say, you can do this. You need people to challenge you to move beyond where you are to the place where you want to be, right? Sometimes people that you don't even know, like with our YouTube channel or with Facebook, the groups that you're in, strangers who don't know you, but who are like-minded and who are willing to listen, who are willing to talk, who are willing to share, um, not because they knew you when you were 5 or because they knew your grandma, but because they truly want other people to win. They truly have a compassion for other people, and they know that when we win, you win, we win. And so it is important to have encouragement. It is important to have a body, a fellowship, if you will, of other people, other women, because this is basically a platform for women over 50 who understand and who can give some hard truths, because not everybody over 50 believes that there is anything else to live for after they reach a certain age. There are women over 50, over 60 who feel like their lives are over, and they don't believe that there is anything that they can do more. They don't even believe that there is a problem. They want to not do anything, and that's perfectly fine. But I say, feel that way and do that because that is what you want to do, not because you think that you can't do anything else. Because I'm here to tell you that you can do other things. You can do something else if that is what you want. And if you've been made to feel like you can't do this without him, or you can't do this because your kids say something, or you can't do this because what are the women at the church going to say, um, you have to figure out what is important to you, and you have to align yourself, surround yourself with people who will help you get to the next level. So that is probably the most important thing that we can tell you today. Do not continue to separate yourself or hold yourself back from other women who can support you. Don't think I know a lot of older people who say, I don't need any more friends. I have plenty of friends. Really? And I kind of used to say that, but when you put yourself in different situations, you're going to meet new people. And some of those new people are going to be people that you really like and will become friends. Some of those people are going to be people that you won't even recognize who they are the next week. And that's fine. That's just life. But do not um, do not, what can I say? Don't remove yourself from other people, other experiences, other activities, other adventures, just because you've reached a certain age. Be open. That is the thing. Stop having this myopic linear vision. Be open to whatever life brings you. Be open to doing those things that you can do. Um, Whatever your hands can do, if it is beneficial, be open to doing it. Be open to the direction of the Holy Spirit that gives you wisdom, that gives you understanding, that gives you an idea, that enlivens your creativity, and tells you, yes, you can. Stop saying no, you can't. Yes, you can. So that is really what I wanted to share today. And I hope that you've gotten something from this. Please, please, please leave a comment after this video is uploaded, and you can DM me on Facebook, Life Begins Today, IG, Life Begins Today, and you can DM me and send me your thoughts and your questions and your topics, and we will discuss them. We'll be back here next Tuesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock Central Time. And so I look forward to chatting with you again. We are only going to get better. This is our second time, and we are only going to get better. I'd like some constructive criticism on what I can do. I don't have a lot in terms of all of the bells and whistles for the equipment, but there's some things that I'm sure I need to get. I know I need to get, and I'll be working on getting those things over the next few months. But in the meantime, I'm working with what I have because I believe in starting where you are. Life begins today. So you start where you are. You don't wait until you have everything in place. You start with what you have. So thank you. I also wanted to remind everyone that the Joy Journal and the Haiku Journal are available on Amazon. The Haiku Journal and Joy under A.E. Barney, Barney. That's the author. I will have links in the description for this live video. And I would appreciate you so much if you would order them for yourself, for friends, for gifts, for friends, for business colleagues, for whomever, and then leave a review on Amazon. I would appreciate it. And of course, like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to Life Begins Today. I will leave all of the links again in the description. And I thank you so much. And we will see each other next week. And remember, whatever you do, don't wait, because your life begins today. Ciao, Bella. Bye.